I've had to really wrestle in a major way with anger. Anger at the situation and anger at God. This location where we're at right now is a dear friend's kind of a cottage. We call it Lucy's. And Kristen and I would come here many times to be alone, to study, to pray, to just have times to be together, a place of rest, of refreshment. And we'd crank up a fire in the fireplace, and this became our place of just crying out to God. God, would you heal Kristen? I'm Kurt Sauder of Further Still Ministries. It's a ministry that my wife and I started 9 years ago here in Louisville. I was most recently a pastor at Southeast Christian Church, also here in Louisville. Was on staff with them for 14 years. Things were just exploding. I was the campus pastor. Before that, I was the men's guy, men's minister at Southeast. And Kristen's ministry was exploding. She was on radio. She was teaching. We were speaking kind of around the country, doing marriage and family stuff. And just we're having a dream of us coming together, doing a full-time ministry. And so I stepped down from the position. And as soon as I stepped down and it went public, this is December of 2012, she got a phone call from her doctor literally 10 minutes after it went public that I was stepping down and resigning my position so that we could do ministry together. And her doctor said, Kristen, I'm 95% sure you have lung cancer. And we went through a whole bunch of tests and all kinds of scans, and she had stage 4 non-smoker's lung cancer. But 13 months later, in January of 2014, she passed away. And I want to tell you, I was so heartbroken. I was so devastated. I was beyond sad. She was my best friend, ministry partner, lover, mom of our 4 kids. And it just became, in my world, kind of plunged into depression and just really questioning God. I know pastors aren't supposed to question God and be angry with God, but I was. And I had lots of questions and like, really, this is the most godly person I know on the planet. All she wanted to do was bring your will on up, what's going on up in heaven, bring it down here on earth. And why God would take her. And through the last months, I've just had to really struggle in my own faith, my own questions about the goodness of God. There's been so many tears and so much sadness in our home. My 4 kids just absolutely loved and adored their mom, and we were just a really, really tight-knit family and loved doing ministry together, and just had a blast. I've got a good counseling friend, and I've gotten some help with what does that mean to work through your anger. I guess the best thing that I've done, a couple things, is to try to be physically outdoors and physically active, you know, playing golf, jogging, walking, hiking, and just being out in nature and venting with God. I just believe that God is a God that can handle our deepest pain, our deepest questions, and even our frustration with Him and anger with Him. And the whole time in my anger, I've never ever once sensed that God was like, okay, that's enough, Kurt, you know, it's come to me. And many times I've sensed in my anger and in my tears of just being so sad that Jesus has been with me, weeping with me. And that has been a great source of comfort and peace. And no matter what you're facing in life, Jesus just wants us to come to Him. And He wants us to come to Him in our brutal honesty, raw, real, and as transparent as we possibly can, because He knows our deepest thoughts and He knows our deepest struggles. Love your wives well. Love them deeply. Cherish them, value them. I would do anything to have Kristen come back. And I think if Kristen could share, because of her passion for ministry alongside me, she would say, value your marriage more than any other thing, more than your success in ministry. Let the beautiful marriage that you have be an overflow into your ministry, because people are watching. They're looking for what a great marriage looks like. Allow that beautiful marriage and family to be a part of overflow into your ministry. God will use that greatly.